Senator Hauschild.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Senator Draheim, for bringing this bill. Every time EMS or first responders gets brought up, I usually try to state what I always state, which is the big challenges that we face in greater Minnesota when it comes to first responders, as you're well aware. This is a compounding effect, and it's really, to me, an equity issue about core services. What we have is a situation where there is inequities in the ability for folks' lives to be saved depending on their zip code. For example, where I live in Hermantown, we are served by the best hospital in the world, Mayo's ambulance service. But you drive 30 minutes north, and all of a sudden, you're in a service area that's provided by a local community of 500 people trying to pay on their property taxes for a service that is inadequate, can't find the volunteers, can't pay for it, and they're going into debt in order to do that. Why should that arbitrary line exist? The reason it exists is because the southern part of that line is profitable. So services are buying these licenses to provide the best services in the world to the profitable areas and then shoving it off on our local governments and our rural communities where it's not profitable. That is a common good problem. That is a government problem that demands a solution. And we worked on an aid package last session that I was really proud to work on across the aisle and really appreciate the unanimous support that we got. I'll be bringing forward an aid package that would be ongoing this session that I'm really looking forward to working on. But what I really appreciate about what you're bringing forward, and similar to what Senator Weber brought earlier this week on childcare, is we're looking at sort of multifaceted approaches to tackling these problems. We can talk about aid packages. We can talk about tax relief for the volunteers. I think we need to look at these big challenges that we face and figure out how we can target different efforts in order to address the challenges. But when you look at rural communities, it's because we have an aging population. We have further distances. The reimbursement rates that we get on government-provided insurance is not paying the rates that they need for those services. And then you're relying on volunteers to provide them. And I think we need to have a serious conversation in Minnesota about whether or not we treat EMS and first responders as essential service. We don't do it to our police. We don't have volunteer police. We don't have volunteer, other core services that we need. But when it comes to first responders, we decided that we should rely on this volunteer service. And I'm really proud of those people. I meet with them all the time, and they're really proud of the work that they do. But we as a government, I think, need to make a decision of whether or not we're going to value that work and value people's lives being saved, regardless of their zip code. So I really hope that we can continue to work on that this session. I love the ideal of scalability on this bill, and I want to work with you and the others on this committee. I really hope, Madam Chair, despite our budget challenges, that we do take this issue seriously and find a way to do something on this.